Hi, welcome to the In-Laws We Trust podcast. I'm Kai,
I'm Ash.
I'm Brian.
and today is my episode on our Seasons of Change mini-series. Today will be all about my own self-discovery, that journey, and healing through it all. And continuously healing because we always are. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
Agreed.
So I'll start off by talking about what my life looked like before all these really big changes. When I was growing up, or at least this is before I got married and moved out, because I feel that's like the big
Yeah.
change
Big
that,
change. Yeah.
really steered this self discovery and this need to heal too. Um, I stayed home for college, both for undergrad and
Mm.
grad school, to save money, which was cool. But of course, there are, some cons to it also. Um, I'm an oldest sibling. I'm an ate. So a lot of responsibility with staying home
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
while being in school
Mhm.
and, working like the little jobs just so that you have some money to have fun. I'm
Yeah.
also in, you know what that's about?
Know that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like,
Sorry.
Well, okay, I will say I worked at my first job was Stonefire Grill.
Really?
Wow.
You didn't know that?
No.
Okay.
Wait, you
cut
both
it.
didn't know
No.
What?
Deep cut.
Yeah, let it deep cut. Let's
Oh
go.
my gosh,
Oh my
that's why I
gosh.
hate when we have Stonefire at the family party.
Oh my God.
Way. You don't like that garlic bread.
You guys, I was around that for so long. I'd come home and
I'm
my
shook.
yeah. No, I'll
I
never say
knew.
like, well, yeah,
No, now they know.
Now we know.
I'll still eat it. It's just that it's associated with really bad memories.
Oh
Yeah,
my
okay.
goodness.
Yeah, because I would come home, my shoes would smell like the garlic bread, and the tri-tip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
All
I
that-
love that garlic
And
bread
people
The
too.
yelled
juice.
at me over there. So it's
Oh.
just
Wait, the
it
one
was
in
a tough
Northridge.
time. Winnetka.
Winnetka.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
I go to that one.
I don't.
Shoot. I'm like, I have to process this information. Like, how many times
Wow.
have I gone to a family function and
It's the family restaurant.
Stonefire
right?
was there?
It's the
Didn't we
family
eat there
restaurant.
once?
Yeah,
recently.
many
No,
times.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
fine. I still
multiple.
have a good time. It's just
That's crazy.
I do remember.
It's like bottom of the list.
It was the
Yeah.
worst. The
All right,
worst.
let's
'Cause-
change it then.
yeah. Oh my gosh. One time, you guys, I spilled the lemon garlic sauce on a baby's head.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh crap. Oh.
And then I went to the bathroom and cried after.
I'm sorry you cried that.
Yeah.
Was it hot?
Not
Like,
too
do they serve
hot.
it-
The
yeah.
baby was fine. I was just embarrassed. 'Cause the family, thank God, they were very nice. But I was like, okay, I don't think I'm cut out for this.
Resignation.
Yeah.
Give in.
Hey,
right
I
then
mean,
and
you
there.
know, it's not a bad smell,
Yeah.
I guess.
Tasty.
Baby's head.
Yeah,
You
and
bathe the
seriously.
baby. And it's a funny story for the family,
It
maybe.
is.
No.
I know. I wonder
Poor
who in the
girl.
family. I don't think anyone knows in the family that I used to work there.
Well, now we
Yeah.
do.
This is probably gonna shake some things
Gee.
up for people.
It's fine. Keep having Stonefire at the parties. It's fine.
Okay.
It's they have good deals.
They do have good sizes for
Yeah.
for catering.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and the
And,
food
like,
is
garlic
it's good.
bread.
It's good. So that was my first job,
Wowza.
and then
Mm.
I worked at Jamba Juice,
Ooh.
which was very different, a lot more fun.
Yeah,
There
it
you
feels
go.
young.
Yeah,
at Jamba Juice.
very
Feels like fun coworkers
Yeah.
would go there.
exactly summer vibes all the
Oh
time.
my gosh, that's so nice.
Yeah. And then I worked at CSUN. But yeah, having those jobs, going to school full time, having responsibilities within the family,
Mhm.
and being in a relationship, it was a lot to
Mhm.
handle at the time. And because I was at home, I felt I couldn't grow as much as I wanted to because I was being held back by expectations and responsibility. So then, let's see. I get married and I have my career. We move out and
Big change.
huge change all at the same time, too.
Yeah.
Most people would think like, oh yeah, way out. I can really, really focus on myself and just find myself. I'm truly free and can do whatever I want, not worrying about what anyone else thinks. I actually didn't do that because it was really, really hard to transition into that new reality. I was so used to living a certain way my whole life, like taking care of other people, watching out for other people. And I never made a single decision without thinking about what other people thought or felt about it.
Mm.
And I was raised in a Christian household. And I will always be so grateful to my parents for, building that really strong foundation so that I have a relationship with God. But what came with that too is certain things couldn't always be talked about.
Yeah.
Certain
It's
things were
natural.
taboo, and it came with the culture
Right.
too.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so then now it's like this whole new world that I'm navigating, and I don't know where to start.
Mm.
And for a lot of people that have been in that, even if it's not the best for you and it doesn't feel good, in a way, it's still kind of comfortable because it's all
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's actually really hard to step out and see what is out there. What would it be like if I actually put myself first and didn't care about what anyone else thought? But that's so scary. I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt other people. So it's this like internal battle for so, so long. And I would say years of, I'm still battling it, because it's only been, um, it's going to be about 2 years now. And I definitely feel I'm in a better place, but that's an ongoing challenge that I'm navigating.
Yeah.
Reshaping past behaviors, relearning, how to take care of myself. In the beginning, I would say my husband was the one who got the worst end of it. Because rather than, getting married and moving out and finding myself, I think that I shifted the responsibility of like me taking care of myself to him. Instead of realizing like that's something I need to do on my own now that I don't live at home. I'm not I'm not in the next room for my family to go to. Now I can really care about myself instead of actually facing that. I made it his problem, his responsibility. And when he didn't deliver, I would get so mad about it. There is this one time, drink water for this.
Water. This is coffee.
There was one time we got marugame. I love
Udon.
marugame.
I love origami.
Yeah.
Kind of fell flat for me lately.
Really? Lately?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We could go into that later. But continue on.
Yeah. Well, we got marugame and then I had leftovers. So I had a really, really hard day at work that day. Really awful. And I was looking forward to having my udon when I got home.
Mhm.
And my husband was so kind and said, "Oh, I'll prepare it for you. I know you had a really hard day at work." And then I think he like left it on the stove for too long that the noodles absorbed all the soup
Oh, yeah.
and it just became like super mushy.
Mhm.
And I went ballistic. I was so upset. Um the the type where it's like I feel hot from
Yeah.
the frustration. And I said things that I regret. And then I went to the room and I went to sleep so mad. I remember. And then I realized it's just udon. It's literally just udon. He did it out of kindness and in an attempt to, make me feel better, try to take care of me. And I took it out on him for doing that.
Yeah.
And that's what made me realize I'm like picking these fights over things that don't matter. The problem is I'm expecting him to take on this role that I had where I take care of everybody else. Now it's time for someone to take care of me. I expected him to do that, and when it wasn't the way I wanted, I gave him hell for it.
Mm.
And it was so unfair to
Mm.
him.
Mm.
And when I would see how much it would hurt him, that's what made me like
Mm.
snap out of it and
Right.
realize, you know what, this is not okay. I have to face this head on. And I say that because I really want to emphasize how important it is for you to make space in your relationships for them to say how they feel, because not everyone can do it. For other people, it's really hard because they've never done it before.
Yeah.
But all I could see was the hurt in his face and in his eyes. And that was enough for me to take a step back and realize like it's me. I'm the one that needs to chill out. I need to take a step back, look in the mirror, and I need to have a conversation with him about his needs and how he's feeling about all of this. Because in that time I was just so mad about everything.
Right.
That time with my husband and just all that change, especially in our relationship and how I was hurting him, I would say was the biggest turning point
Mhm.
for me realizing I got to do something different. This is not working, and I need to face it too. I need to accept that I'm the one who's messed up here.
Mm.
And I need to take those steps to be better, whatever they may be.
I'm curious. Like that moment, was that the first time that's ever happened in your life where, or, and that maybe something so small and like in the long run is insignificant?
Mhm.
Did it ever occur to you in past time?
Yes, it did. When I lived at home,
Mhm.
I would get so upset over stupid little things, not just with my husband now, but my family,
Mhm.
friends.
Mhm.
But it was easy for me to just go in my room and like just not talk to anybody.
Okay, so that
Mhm.
was how you kind of coped with it at
Mhm.
that.
Mm.
I just isolated myself, and I'd be sad for a couple days, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm tired of being sad. Let's keep
Yeah.
going.
And did you ever did you just feel those feelings without really reflecting on why you're feeling those feelings, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
I was sad, and that was it.
Okay.
I didn't do any work to understand why.
Mhm.
I didn't want to talk about it.
Mhm.
I just wanted to be in my room and for people to just leave me alone. And it
Mhm.
was very easy to do that living at home.
Mm.
So then moving out, and now I share this space with someone, the way that I feel and just my aura, I
Mhm.
guess, it
Mhm.
affects whoever is here too. And I wanted this new home to be different. And I wasn't doing the work to make that happen. I was
Mhm.
actually just transferring over that mentality I had before to this new place.
Yeah. And it makes sense when you talk about how comfortable you feel when you've been in a place for so long that the only thing you really know. So when you're
Mhm.
put
Right.
into a new space, you're going to, of course, bring in the same kind of behaviors, the same rules until you realize it's not working out
Right.
Right.
the same way that it used to.
Mhm.
And how did that change when you made that realization? Like, what was your kind of first reaction, like initial thought when you recognized that?
I was very I was in denial because I knew that something had to be done differently on my end, but I didn't want to accept it because probably my pride was so high at
Mm.
that time. I was like, man, I have no student debt. I am working a good job. I am so happy with where I am in my career. My parents are proud of me. Like, really, I have to make this change.
Mm-hmm.
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 This is everything I've worked for, and it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
Change is the constant.
hmm
Yeah.
So I pushed it away for a long time, but then those old coping mechanisms I had, where I would just go to my room and not talk to anybody. I have a job now. I have to go to work.
Mhm.
And I can't,
Yeah.
like, versus before, I could just be like, I'm not coming in, Jamba Juice. Like, it doesn't matter. Or I don't want to go to class today.
Yeah.
Just
And you
don't
could just
go.
skip out. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But I have a job
Mm-hmm.
and there's bills to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I am making this space uncomfortable and insecure for my husband at the same
Yeah.
time. And that is so awful for me to do. So
Mm-hmm.
the consequences of my actions were the stakes were just so high.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's like the stakes growing and growing, the significance of things and how it affects you and what you have around you
Mhm.
really matter. And what your old, set of like rules, how you go about coping,
Mhm.
they're almost like outdated,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
And before I moved out and it was just a thought of getting married and having my own place, it was I was thinking, "Oh my gosh, like all my problems are going to go away."
Mhm.
I was thinking,
That's valid.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, "You know what? I'll be able to do whatever I want. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to worry about anybody else. I'm it's all up to me." No.
Did it feel like you were kind of going from like one side of the spectrum to the other side of the spectrum? Like
Of what
of
spectrum?
just kind of like how you, with this newfound freedom of yours and kind of opening up the doors to
Mhm.
new opportunities and a new lifestyle, that what you were constantly experiencing, dealing with in your old life,
Mhm.
you kind of like naturally just shifted to the opposite end because it's like I'm either for whatever reason, maybe you're tired of it,
Mhm.
you're just excited that you're out, and everything kind of
Um,
maybe switched. Do you think
yeah.
you experienced something like that,
As in I just like put it off
and and
rather than
and then went to the opposite side of it?
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That definitely happened because I that came with the denial
Yeah.
and also the grief that I don't have the life I thought I would.
Mhm.
Um I didn't expect that I getting married and moving out would actually force me to really look in the mirror and change some things about myself. Whereas
Mm.
before it was a lot easier to just look away
Yeah. And
and
if
keep going.
Yeah, and if anything happened or there was an issue or conflict, you can always just like go into your room
Mhm.
or like not talk for a few days,
Mhm.
and then get back to it after. But yeah, like you're right, like in this space where that both of you share, that we're in right now.
Mhm.
You have to deal with that
Yeah.
because it's such close proximity
Close
now,
quarters.
close
Yeah.
Mhm.
quarters.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, and I love my husband so much. That's one of the worst things I could have possibly done. You know,
Yeah.
we had promised each other when getting married, like, if anything else, I'm here. Like, if the whole world is just crashing and burning, it's us, you
Yeah.
know.
Bruno
But
Mars and Lady Gaga. The world is ending.
If the world ends, I wanna be
Mhm.
next
To
to you.
you.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Good job.
Maybe we should do karaoke.
Karaoke
Guess
might
that
be
song. Guess that
that
song.
might be the
blind
move. That
karaoke.
might be the move.
I know. Okay.
Oh, I love
But
karaoke.
yes.
We have some. Okay. In that. Hot
Love
pot.
karaoke. Yeah, but here we are. We made that promise and I'm the one who's making him feel awful.
Right.
You know, it's just terrible. So that's what really initiated that self-work. I mean, people that I love and care about also,
Mhm.
they told me, like, look, I think you're in a bad place.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful for those people because I need that. Like, you need people to be real with you.
Yeah.
You
People
need people to
that,
That's
call
real
you
talk.
in.
Yes.
yes, the people that truly love and care about you will tell you when you can't see it, when you might need help or you need more support. How can I be there for you? Because, man, if it's just enabled and they don't say anything, it's like you just keep hurting, and then you might end up losing those people that you
Yeah,
love and
without
care about.
realizing it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
without realizing it,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, if anything, to me, it's like for somebody to tell me that, it means that they love me more.
Yeah, because they care.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they care about our relationship and that I'm okay. So, um, that that was really tough. I know that at work it showed through a lot because my job, it requires me to have my job is very heavy on empathy,
Right.
you know, um caring for families, and a lot of the time, if I didn't deliver, I would be so wrecked over it.
Mm.
But it was my best, and that's all I can really give. But it would still destroy me, and I would come into work just miserable and questioning everything, almost degrading my own, professional skill or expertise because it wasn't up to the standard of other people, other clients.
Dang, that's an older sister, older sibling expectations right there.
You're not wrong about
Jeez.
that.
Mm-hmm.
That mentality is felt.
Yeah.
Yep.
I empathize with you.
Yeah.
As do I.
Yeah. So then my boss was like, "Girl, what's going on? You are a great clinician. All you can do is offer your knowledge, and you can't control how people are going to take it, and you're not
Yeah.
going to save everyone. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, I have this mentality that I have to save people. I have to
Mhm.
take care of people
No.
or even fix them,
No.
and no way, dude.
No way, dude.
No
You
way.
got- they gotta fix themselves.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
just there to help, right?
Yeah.
Especially in your profession. I mean, you work with a
Mhm.
young audience, a young demographic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you make up such a big impact in their life, I'm sure, but you're like a part of their life, but you're not their life.
Right.
That's right.
So you're not going to be there to watch them develop and grow the entire way. You make that impact, but they're
Mhm.
going to have the rest of their lives to figure that out as well for
Yeah.
themselves.
And I have to be okay with the fact that I did my part, whether I, change the trajectory of their
Mhm.
life or not. It's okay because I did what
Because
I
you did your
could.
part.
Yeah, I
You
did
did
my
your
part.
part.
And how people react or how people receive things. As long as I am doing it with kindness, with good intention, I cannot let what other people think define, how I feel about myself. And that was it was one of the biggest struggles, I would say. So even my career has helped me grow so much, and it forced me to grow because my boss said, "You can't keep coming into work like this, girl." Like there's so much masking. You see the client and you have that mask on of like, empathy. I'm so happy, let's get into it. I'm going to help you, and then after they leave, I'm just like wrecked.
Right.
I'm miserable and questioning everything about my skills and who I am even. It's not even just my career. Like this is about my personality
Yeah.
and how I deal with things. And my career is just kind of like a side another way of showing that. So,
Shout out to your boss for
yeah.
That's a great
being
boss.
really aware of that. And,
Yeah.
really, and again, like kind of helping you and
Guiding
guiding you
you.
through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
For
really
sure.
that's really amazing
Really,
that your boss did that.
she's a
Oh.
keeper.
She is. No, I love her. Naomi, I love you.
Aw.
Really. She's one of those people where she wasn't afraid to give it to me straight.
That's awesome.
I've actually never had someone in my life be as straightforward with me as her because I've always been the ate,
Yeah.
It's like I say how it is. I have the control. But she was blunt and honest with me and how like if you want to be successful, if you want to have a good marriage, if you want to have a fulfilling life, you need to change. Like something needs to change here. And yeah, she's the one who introduced me to Codependence Anonymous.
Oh yes.
Mhm.
So I remember I
Yeah.
remember
Yep.
talking about your supervisor.
Mhm.
Yes.
She's the one who told me to go to a meeting where I realized, oh my goodness, there's this whole community of people that feel the same way I do, where they realize how dependent they were on other people and they have no idea how to navigate that realization
Mm.
and how to change because they've been living that way their
Yeah.
whole life. So it was a, trickle of different things. And I would say too, even a lot more prayer.
Hmm.
I was raised a Christian my whole life, yet I I actually don't feel like I've really had a relationship with God until now or recently.
Yeah, sometimes you just go through the motions of things, and
Yeah.
I think that like you go through the motions of things, and when you have such a big change, such as well, I know moving is one of the biggest life changes, and then getting married is like one of our biggest life changes. Is to
Mhm.
happen, all these like major life changes kind of happen all at once,
Mm.
and then like transitioning from that, like yeah, you're gonna realize that the change is necessary, and for the better.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Right. And again, I think that goes to the same, like what your boss functioned as. It's like your higher being, God, in your case, also served that as
Mhm.
well. And,
Yeah.
you know, I can relate in that same way of like finding God and strengthening that relationship as of late and realizing, yeah, man, I was like lacking in that spiritual like department.
Mhm.
But coming back, seeing what kind of effect it has on you gives you that extra strength to push through, to
Mhm.
manage better,
Mhm.
like all the, the day to day and all the more significant challenges that weigh on our lives. So
Mhm.
anything that you can reach out to, whether it be your higher power, the
Right.
people that you can really like depend on, like those are really, really vital to have, and I think you found that, like you found it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that I am very lucky to have all the people in my life. And you bring up a really good point in that I do believe it's God given. Like it's not a coincidence at all. This happened now. And it also means that I need to face it. I have to stop running from it. How having those people in your life that will have the hard conversation with you out of love
Mm-hmm.
and call you in, as
Mhm.
Ash said.
Mm,
It's so important, and it's hard to find too. People that genuinely will do that for you because it is uncomfortable.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even think about it like from my perspective, how I could be better in doing that. But you're right. It's really, really a scary thing because you're afraid that it may come off too strong. Like I'm afraid it might come off too strong,
Mhm.
too forward. But yeah, it's delivering it from a place of love and place of care. That's where kind of you hope it lands on that. And
Mhm.
Mhm.
if the other person accepts it and receives it well, then it's like, oh, great, winner.
Yeah.
Then our relationship could
For me,
further.
like my hesitation is always like, do I know the full picture?
That
So
too.
it's usually like
Mm.
when I do have like a person seeks out like advice or whatever, or just someone to talk to, then I have more of a feeling that I could say something.
Yeah.
But if it's like, oh, I just know this situation and I have a thought on it, then I'm not going to say anything because I'm like,
Yeah.
unless you want me to.
Good
Because
call.
that's the other thing is like solicited versus unsolicited
Yes.
solicited advice. Because usually if it's unsolicited, then it could be received not well.
That's right.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about like having these like difficult conversations that need to be had with people in our lives that we love, like what is one way that you approach that and like broach
Yeah.
that kind of conversation?
Yeah.
Definitely just feeling out where they are, I would say, before you go into, voicing your concern for them or how you're worried for them. Ask them, what's going on? Like how
Mm,
are you feeling about everything so that maybe you can get the whole picture. And then you decide from there, is it worth mentioning? Is it worth bringing, this other perspective, or, maybe was I wrong? Do I know these new things that it makes sense why it is this way?
right. So we may have touched on it, but I'm curious, Kai, like what else like motivated you to, put eyes on some of these challenges and, how you coped with your challenges and, what motivated you or what motivates you to, make changes.
Mm. Well, first realizing how miserable I really
Mm,
was, and I didn't want to keep living that way. I thought that it was everybody else's problem and they were the ones, causing all this anger that I have, but
mm,
it really is me. It's
Mm-hmm.
my outlook on life, my perspective, and how I see things and how I see myself. So, apart from, really hurting the people that I love around me, which I regret so much, it was just feeling so bad about myself was really, really awful.
mm.
And no one wants to be in that place for too long.
Yeah.
I would say some people, like, you do have to be in that place for a little bit of a while to know that that's not what you want.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. And the hard truth of like realizing that you're the problem is like, it's hard.
Mhm.
I think it's something because it's easier to put the blame on other people than taking full accountability of the things that you've done and how
Mhm.
you acted. One of the things that you were talking about is like you reacted to like small things
Mhm.
and didn't know where that really came from. I was like the same way, still am sometimes. And I realized it was just like this need to like have control over a lot of things because a lot of things felt out of my control. So like even with like scheduling and things like that, like I remember like blowing up, like especially with my mom, poor thing.
Mm,
Um blowing up whenever she like just wants to make an extra like a little change in the schedule or like, oh, can you do this like last minute kind of thing, because I lost control of like how my day was looking.
Yeah.
And so having to get to that point took me a lot of like therapy and reflecting and a lot of like just thinking about stuff on my
Right.
Yeah.
own. So I think my question for you is also like, now that you're in a you talk about your routine, like you have your work that you have to show up for, you have your spouse that you have to show up for, you live in a space that's shared. How are you working through that process of change and working on yourself in a way that feels like it's progressing and that you're seeing those changes?
Yeah. Well, as I had mentioned before, I always start off my day with a lot of prayer and just time with God, setting my intention. Because, I mean, Ash, control was my whole thing. That's what was making me spiral. I don't have control over what's going on. So I'm just going to mess it up myself.
Felt.
I'm just going to take it out on other people and myself because that's where I feel the most control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So realizing I don't have control and then giving it to my higher power every morning and just saying, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen today, and that's fine. Whatever happens, I'll be okay as long as I am safe, I'm alive, everyone I love around me wakes up today, I'm healthy, I have a roof over my head, and I have food. That's more than enough. And when I shifted to that mentality versus like, I'm gonna wake up and just like change lives today. It really, really it allowed me to give myself a lot more grace
Yeah.
too.
Love that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So starting off the day like that, and then also prior to all of these realizations and all this self-discovery is me realizing I don't even know what I like to do.
Mm.
I don't
Mm.
know what I enjoy. I just go along with what other people want to do and I like try it, but I don't really
Yeah.
know if I like it. So now I'm actually trying new things. And instead of being so afraid, or like, let's say friends want to do something and I'm like, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
Actually saying no, that was a nightmare for me before.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, FOMO is a thing,
Yeah.
right?
Oh gosh. Yeah.
um,
It's the people pleaser.
yes,
Yeah.
people pleasing mentality. My goodness, too familiar to me. But yeah, it's just realizing that I can try whatever I want. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. And if someone tells me I can't, it's like, okay, I'm still gonna do it
Yeah.
because it's like my own autonomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um,
I can really relate to that because it's very similar to your situation of like when you first move out of your family home. I experienced that same experience. Like I didn't give myself permission to live and allow my own desires or curiosities
mhm.
just kind of take shape.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're just so used to following somebody else's like guidance, somebody else's direction.
Hmm.
um and that's a challenging thing. That's a really difficult thing to overcome, especially when you are met with responsibilities of like, now I gotta maintain my own home,
Hmm.
have a career that I have to like take care of, but you
Yeah.
also forget that, again, I can do this my way,
Yeah.
but you have to like feel comfortable and empower yourself to give permission to doing that.
Yeah.
And that was a hard thing for me too.
It's very
you know?
hard because then it's like the possibilities are endless. So where do I start?
Yeah, that too.
You know?
Yeah.
And I actually saw this video on how we rarely have meaningful conversations anymore with like
Mhm.
people that we just meet because it's not so common.
Mm,
When you first meet someone, usually it's like, "Oh, what's your name? How old are you?
What do you
What's
do?
your ethnicity? What do you do? Where are
yeah,
you from? Where did you grow
standard
up?" Like these are facts.
small talk.
But these are things we can't change. And these are things that, you know, yes, it makes up who we are, but ask me about what makes me happy. You know, what makes me really sad? What's my favorite snack? Like these different things that make us who we are. And then when I saw that video, it made me realize, wow, I don't know how I would answer those questions. So I need to put in that work to discover who I am in all of this. And
Yeah.
the only way I can is to stop being so afraid, get out of my comfort zone. Like I played pickleball the other day for the first time.
I love
Look at
pickleball.
So
look at
I love
you.
fun.
pickleball.
Love
Yeah,
that.
and even things like that. Like I've always wanted to try pickleball, and I did it this past weekend. And to
Yay.
have that feeling of like, I want to try something, and then you do it. I did not have that before.
Mm.
I
I
did
think
not do that when before I got married and moved out. I just like stayed in my bubble. I did extracurriculars when I was in college. Um, but I feel that I only did that to distract myself.
mm,
For me to make me feel like, okay, my friends that left for college, it's so different for them. They're in a completely new place. At least with these extracurriculars, I can meet new people, blah, blah, blah. But there was no real change going on. It wasn't
Mhm.
fulfilling where I was just deciding, even if I'm scared, I'm going to try it because I want to see if I like it.
yeah.
So, yeah, that self discovery of breaking out of what's comfortable
Yeah.
and knowing it's okay to do that too.
That's what I love most about solo traveling, because you're forced to just be with yourself the entire time. But the best part is you could do anything you want. When I first took my trip on a whim was to New York when I was 19. And I was like,
Wow.
whoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went solo. I mean, I stayed with a family member, but like I like left her apartment almost from the morning to the night. And I was just by myself in the Big Apple. And like it was scary, of course, but I knew what I wanted to see. I did everything I wanted to. I went to a Palm Sunday mass at St. Patrick's with
That's
like,
wild.
because I was like, this is important to me. And I know if I went somebody else, they wouldn't really want to go to mass, you know?
Yeah.
And then I just did so many things on that trip. It was my first ever solo trip. And I was just like in a YOLO mood. And it's changed my perspective on how I think that for me, that was my moment. Like I had already
Yeah.
moved out of the house, but I was like college dependent. So I was like living with roommates or whatever. And then I was, I didn't really feel like, I think I was just transitioning a lot. But that trip like changed my life. It was a moment where I was like, I really can do anything I want to do.
Yeah.
And like, who's gonna stop me?
Yeah.
I'm always gonna figure out a way to make
Right.
it work and to make it
Yeah.
happen. Like there were some challenges on that trip that came up, and I was like, I worked my way around it, and it was great because like getting to spend time with people that you don't know. Like I met random people, and like it just was like the world is so much bigger than what I knew.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so I think it's one of the things that's like a really good experience to have if one can.
I mean, it sounds like there's like a shared theme with what you said, Ash, and even with yours,
Mhm.
Kai, is like, you do certain things and it builds momentum towards the new life that you're
Yeah.
envisioning about, hey, I'm gonna try to step out of my comfort zone. Let's plan a solo trip. I'm gonna pick up a new hobby.
Yeah.
But you stack it, and I think that, takes you further out away from what you were, previously like attached to and so comfortable with,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's a practice like that I'll admit maybe it's difficult to stay on top of, but realizing how important that is in developing some of the changes and getting closer to some of those changes that you're looking for, that's kind of what seems like I'm gathering from the both of you.
Mhm.
I one of my favorite things from Big Hero 6 is
Good
in that
movie.
episode is in that scene when he like shakes the boy and like he has like a new perspective on like how to solve that problem. It was
Mhm.
like when I think Baymax opened himself up for the first time in the room.
Yeah.
And I think about that a lot. Like you just gotta like shake up your world a little bit to have a new perspective on something,
Yeah.
and a new perspective on something that's old, like something that's already been there, been existing. But once you get out of your comfort zone, like for example, trying a new hobby or going out on your own, like it gives you perspective of like, wait, let me go back to this thing that I didn't realize was something I had to work on, and I have a new reason, like a new come from, and
Yeah.
going into that. It's
Yeah.
important.
And going off of that, when you have that new perspective, things that felt really heavy before are not a big deal anymore.
Yeah.
They just felt so big and heavy in your
That's
head,
sick.
but once you take a step out of that, it's actually not a big deal at all.
It's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that itself is very freeing too.
Mhm.
I'm glad you brought that up. Like you put it out in there in words that when I'm hearing it, it's just like, yeah, absolutely. Like, do it and get out there. It allows you to make more time, more it gives you more freedom,
Yeah.
and movement to do the things, do something new,
Mhm.
or continue on with what you think you want to do.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's cool because also when you get to try something new, I mean, the scary part is not doing it well or failing or something happening,
Yeah.
and you pivot from there and you learn from that too.
Pivot.
And you learn from that too. And what's also scary is like, how will that change you in the eyes of people that you hold dear? And how
Yeah.
do you grow? How as you change, how do you have that change with the people who knew you in a certain way? Does that make sense? Did I phrase
That
that
you
Oh,
properly?
that makes sense.
That we're all changing. So we're all changing, but the people in your life, they're like, they see the change, and it's like the ones who don't like the change, or are they just gonna peace out?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
That's a
Because that's what happens. That's not something like, as we're on this topic, like something I've been kind of working through is like kind of like what you said. Now that I'm like older and like independent and stuff, it's like, oh, I don't, there's like certain like obligations that I don't have to necessarily fulfill anymore, and some people don't like that.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, I'm sorry you're offended, but I know this is best for me,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So what are your thoughts on like navigating change in relation to the people who didn't expect that change, you know?
Yeah, well, to be completely honest, when I was really in the thick of it, it was more so I was upset at how other people were changing around me and I was the same. So I have,
Mm.
I guess, a different perspective on it because I'm only now really putting in the work to change and put
Mm.
myself first. But at that time, it's like that's part of why I would get upset with people over stupid little things. But it's really because I was upset that, they are able to put
Mm.
their needs first.
Yeah.
They're able to do things they enjoy without being afraid. How come I can't?
Mm.
So maybe it was
Projecting.
yeah, projecting, envy, um, denial again.
It's good being aware of that too, you know?
Mhm.
It's obviously you're working through it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
first step is getting rid of denial.
Mhm.
Denial is a river.
It's like I think about that moment in time where a person is faced with I see this I see life around me a certain way, and then you're faced with a lot of things that are affecting you, but you're not realizing that I have to like flip the however you want to use. It's like you put the spotlight on yourself instead of like everybody around you. And when that spotlight is on you, you realize, man, I have issues. I have faults. That is the most gutting part about the whole process. But for actually like flipping the spotlight back onto you and then starting from there, that's the process of like beginning the change. And I mean, in your case, it sounds like you had to like go through a process like that.
Yeah.
And then now that it's on you,
Mhm.
light shining on you, it's kind of like, all right, well,
Yeah.
what do we got to do now?
Yeah.
But really, it's like such a positive impact when it comes to communication. So I mean, I went through a similar thing where I was like, I had like expectations on my relationship, and I applied those expectations, and I had the realization that I'm the problem kind of situation.
Mhm.
And like, I learned when to take accountability and when to like under like to know when when I have to be responsible for the actions and things that I did, and then when to know like, okay, no, it really was not my fault. But you know, there are times where it was like, okay, like what taking accountability is really hard, but being able to communicate that you did to your, especially to someone that you love so much, your partner, it's really, it fills me with so much love because I'm like, I know that this is not like your fault. And I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that like I'm working towards something, um to a better like better version of myself
Yeah.
for myself, not just for the
Yeah.
relationship, but it's like knowing that I'm not hurting the person in that way, that I'm like here for the like you know, showing up for us.
Yeah. And that sounds like the healing part of it. Because
Mhm.
it fills
Yeah.
you with so much love, you know that you're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because for me, I mean, before, when you were talking about that spotlight, it's so much easier to point out what other people are doing wrong because it gives you that control. But I
Mhm.
was doing that because I couldn't face what I was doing wrong.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when the spotlight is on you, and then you, man, you get that realization, and it's really hard, but whoever it is that you're in that conflict with hears you out and hears you admitting that you acknowledge it's you, and then you feel that love. It's a
Oh,
whole
it's the
process.
best.
It's
Oh my
Yeah.
reassuring.
god. I had
Very, very
uh,
validating.
so I had a situation with a friend, going back to my episode, I guess, on Friends. But about, yeah, recently, very recently, you know, things were kind of happening, not necessarily with that friend, but like a mutual situation, and it was affecting our friendship. It was like the elephant in the room.
Mhm.
And we weren't really able to talk about it because we weren't really in a place to. And we went out to get a drink one day or one night, and just laid it out on the table. Like, this was what my experience was. This was my experience. And we said our apologies. And going into that conversation, like, at first I was really scared. I was like, shit, like, now that we're confronting this elephant, are we still going to be friends? You know, are we still going to have that relationship? But when you have people in your life that you're like, you know what, yeah, you're 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 a good egg. I came in like the moment before we started talking, I was like, it's gonna be okay. Because I know at the end of the day, like we both like have so much love for each other. We had that conversation, laid it on the table, said our apologies that needed to be said, took accountability for the things that we did and that we didn't do. And we're so much better off right now. Like, I feel the elephant has left the room. I
Yeah.
feel like our friendship is again where it used to be, even probably deeper now that we've like gone through
Yeah.
that together. And it's like such a blessing to have people in your life that will still stick by you. That you'll stick by each other. Sorry, it's not a one-way relationship.
Yeah.
That you'll stick by each other and that you'll see the different versions of each other. And I remember like waking up that next morning on my way to work, like in near tears, just like
Yeah.
realizing, like being filled with so much love and being so
Mhm.
filled so much like grace that I get to have people like that in my life.
Yeah.
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 It's a really nice feeling.
And they stay. They
And they
stay
stay.
through, those conflicts, the
Yeah.
hardship, and you grow more together. Like the love only gets bigger,
Yeah.
which such a beautiful
Yeah.
And
concept.
like
It
in
is.
in comparison to like all the friendships I had that I talked about in my episode, and they didn't stick around, that we went through conflict and we couldn't get through it, it really shows you like there are soulmates out there
Mhm.
That's
and you
right.
just find
Mhm.
them.
Yeah.
That's right. I think you go through a realization, and it could be people, it could be certain things, interests that you outgrow.
Mhm.
And it's okay to outgrow those things for sure.
Mhm.
And what the beauty of change and growing is that you get to look back and it's like, yeah, it might have changed. It's not the same as it used to be, but I can choose to, just keep the good memories for it. Yeah. And kind of honor it in that sense. Or it's like completely like, all right, discarded, it's gone. But being able to have that experience and go through it, it gives you that I changed, I learned something, and I'm better for it. And I can share this experience with others that are around me that are still, by my side, and we both can, hopefully grow too together. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah. They all
yeah,
feed off each other. Like I
they
knew
do.
that my trust for that friendship came from a trust from another friendship that I had with my girlfriends, and like how much we love each other. And
Mhm.
they're so amazing. And like I knew that because trust is a hard thing, to really
Trust.
genuinely develop.
Oh, yeah.
And having been friends with them, I was like, I knew what it felt like to have unconditional love from your friends and your community. And like, because of that friendship, I was able to go into that friendship being like, it's going to be okay,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And you're able to give that to other people.
Exactly.
It's like a chain reaction.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yes. Putting more love
Wow.
into the world.
Right.
Yeah. But you had asked earlier, Ash, like what changes are being made now um, with all this self discovery and trying to heal too. Um, Another thing is okay, well, I always said that I hate reading. I've always said that. And
You're talking to the bibliophile.
I know.
Kidding.
No, seriously
I'm
though.
offended.
Like I'm gonna be
Low key or
no, I'm gonna be so real. I used to say that, but it was just because I never picked up a book that I liked.
Oh yeah.
I only read books that I was forced to in high school, and I never
Yeah.
finished them. And I couldn't pay attention to what I was reading because it wasn't interesting. I would read like the same page over and over and over again and still not
What
get
were
it.
you reading? Like fiction classics?
Like Of Mice and Men.
Oh. Poor Lenny.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
Oh gosh.
Or Shakespeare. Like
Oh, I
when
don't like
That
Shakespeare.
LAUSD education
Yes.
curriculum.
I think Billy is
whatever.
overrated.
Yeah, but I had just jumped into the assumption I hate reading for the longest time. That was part of my immaturity too, not knowing who I was, not trying new things. And now I'm reading a book.
Yeah.
You have a few. You got a stack.
Yeah, I do. And I do love reading. I was just doing it wrong, I guess.
You're reading what interests you.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is significant to you.
Yeah.
What fulfills me.
What fulfills you,
What
yes.
reveals more to me. What gives me
Yeah.
knowledge. And that is so powerful.
Mhm.
That's what I've been missing out on. And that's such a good example of, when I say like, I assumed I couldn't do these things. I was afraid, or I felt like I wasn't capable of enjoying this thing. And look at what a shift of perspective has just given me. So, as I had mentioned in past episodes, I am reading The Body Keeps the Score. And trigger warning for anyone who wants to read it, that it is very, very heavy. There are lots of just concepts in that book that could, yeah, it talks all about trauma. So in reading that book, I've realized a lot of suppressed trauma that I have, almost like it was unlocked and that my brain was hiding it for so long to protect me.
It does that.
Yeah. And the book is all about how, trauma is not all in the head. The body keeps a score of what's going on. It will show up physically eventually. And that's what was happening to me too. And this whole self-discovery journey and in the timing of reading this book and other events of my life, I'm realizing I have so much unresolved and suppressed trauma. And I know that now is the time to really face it because of how much it's affecting my everyday life.
Mhm.
I'm realizing that it plays a part in all the things I do in my day, all the little things. And it has been the hardest uh, change, I would say, that I've ever had to face. That maybe those traumatic things that happen in my life, I really don't know who I am. And I have to find out. I have to actually face it and address it. And yeah, I need to see a therapist.
Mhm.
Like I'm the methods that I was using before are not going to work anymore because you get to that point where you can't keep running. You know that you have nowhere else to go except to get help.
Yeah.
And that is terrifying really because I mean if it were up to me and what I want is that I don't want to do it.
Oh, to live in oblivion.
Yeah, I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to dig deeper in my past and how I grew up because I'm afraid of what I'll find out. But this is a huge roadblock in my self-discovery and healing. I know it and I can feel it in everything that I do. So yeah, that's another big change that I've recently come across and have been trying to work through.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah. I could tell, like, and again, there's a sense of you have to hand control over to somebody else at this point.
Yeah.
And that's highlighted in this episode. That's tough for all of us to do. When that sense we don't have control in what direction the conversation is going to go and what it's going to elicit in terms of emotions. That's, yeah, that's something that a lot of people wouldn't want to even get close to. That's not a prospect that they're willing to, just get into. But the fact that you are facing it, like, and you realize it,
Yeah.
now I think we've experienced in our like therapeutic journey that it's only going to do you good,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
By doing that.
Once
Yeah.
you find the right professional, because it's like dating, gotta find the right one.
It's like dating app.
I miss you, Lily.
Yeah.
She's my therapist, and she made one of the biggest impacts in my life. She was the one.
Yeah.
She was the one.
No,
I
she
remember
yeah,
Lily.
I remember Lily.
Yeah.
She just let me go. She was like, "You're done." I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, thanks."
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you find that person, like the professional person to help you, and every session, like help you work through what you need to work through in a space that is without any bias, without any like personal connection to anybody and anything like that. It is so freeing
Mhm.
to speak so candidly.
Yeah.
One of the things when I kind of work through what I've worked through, like in general, is like, oh, like this person kind of knows, or one day we'll meet this person, or knows this person, whatever. So, I have to like think about that. But then when you're the therapist, it's like, yeah, so this person is this person, and this person did this, and
Mhm.
they always fought, blah, 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 blah. Um, and
Yeah.
so it's really nice to have that space and to know that someone has the tools for you. And
Mhm.
to this day, I so my therapist, Lily, she was a trauma-based therapist, so I still use the tools that she's given me. I think I've talked about it in other episodes where it's like the physical ways our bodies react to something and the way that I can comfort those versions of me that at that certain age that is acting out inside my body. Um, and it's something that gets me through everything. And it's really the reason why like I think I'm able to move forward with my own life, you know, and also make art.
Wonderful art, by the way. Yeah, but you bring up a good point, Ash, in that it's going to take time to find the right therapist. And chances are it's not going to be right the first time. And that is going to add to the difficulty. But that will be the real challenge in putting myself first. Because if I give up, then I'm giving up on myself, really.
Yeah.
So,
And you know what? We'll hold you accountable.
yes.
Because
Thank
now
you.
this is on forever.
Oh, yeah.
And you put it out, so
I
Yeah.
said it. So,
we'll check in.
mhm.
Well, you said it. You brought it up that you're taking accountability for this, and it's not a process that's gonna be easy. But the fact that you are ready to jump in, like you give yourself that luxury of like taking your time, like see what's right for you, and you can pull. You have people that you can pull advice from, get a little bit of insight as far as like what would work for me, like how could I go through this, and um again, you're not completely alone.
Yeah.
you know?
And I know that, and I'm so thankful for it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for tuning in. Lots of things that we talked about today, and hope that it brought, some meaning or value to anybody who's listening. Thank you for making it this far into our mini series, too. It means so much that you even take your time out of the day to listen to these episodes and support us. It truly means the world. So,
And thank you, everyone, for your stories and your processes of change.
Yeah.
And each of us had our own little episode and put in the hot seat.
Yeah.
But
mhm.
and thank you for
Absolutely.
being vulnerable with each of us.
Yeah. I mean, I must say that this part of our first season has been the most fulfilling, the most eye-opening, and moving forward, it really validates what and why we're doing this. At least for
Yeah.
me, like I know now, like, this is exactly what I asked for, what I signed up for. If it meant getting vulnerable, getting teary-eyed, just getting a shock to the system, that has achieved it.
Mhm.
So I'm thankful for you guys for that.
It's not even our final episode
Hey,
yet.
but in closing for the seasons of change, like our mini series, like again, to kick off a mini series like this, I am looking forward to the next one.
So that concludes our Seasons of Change mini series. Thank you again for tuning in. You can follow us on all our social media platforms at In Laws We Trust Pod and at Kylie Kawaii.
At looking for Ashley _.
And add Be Archangel Cuts.
Cool. Well, see you in the next episode.
See you on the next one.
Cheers.